Oh,
actually, speaking of boxes, I used to play the old Nuke. I used to play with Victor's. He used to play for Very Games back in the day. I used to play with him in matchmaking, and he would always only want to play Nuke, and he would always go ramp, and he would always body everybody. And watching him, there's a red box there now, and he would like to spray M4s through the corner of the box, which you can still do on this map. Not seeing much of it just yet.
Well, that's great, James. It's time for the pistol, though, between these two teams. SK already looking to put a few players in the radio room, and Freeze up here on this silo. Let's see if he can get anything done there. So just kind of actually holding a little bit passively to see if there's any aggression outside for NRG, but there is not. So SK Gaming are going to go forth into that ramp area. And what is this? 4 players dead immediately for SK. James.
Fugly was the bait stand, and Peter came in with the hook. And that's a wrap. Freeze versus 4.
He's got to get the bomb, James.
There was a 3-man pushing ramp down.
Yeah.
And they're all dead.
Yeah.
Freeze has 1 minute to find 4 players, pick up the bomb. There's a lot for him to do.
There's a hazmat suit there. He might need it.
There is.
Oh,
well,
very
that's a
nice
good start.
Yeah. Let's see if he can get something else from this. I mean, they are showing sort of one and one, and there's going to be the quick incendiary toss there. Pretty cool that they actually had one of those to use on a piss around. You don't see them too often on piss arounds. But there it is. God B takes the round there, closing it down against Freeze. And NRG with the good start here. Of course, as you mentioned, they decided to start on the CT side, which I was expecting them to go on the T side to begin things, because they won the knife round. They got to choose. But
I had no expectations, actually. I think it's probably, maybe, well, actually, who knows? I was going to say, maybe it's easier to start on the CT side and just hold angles, but people don't even know where to hold at the moment, especially as far as outside is concerned. We saw fast plays into A as well, but again, that was against an unprepared CLG, so we'll have to take that with a pinch of salt, Dan, or whatever pinch you want to take. So indeed, speaking of fast A plays, we do have one coming in from SK, yet to get it around on the board here. And we see the CT's smokes out of the site, so it seems that SK indeed are reasonably prepared for this map.
Yeah, those door rushes are so insane because you can't really get to the angle properly as a CT in time to stop it. So look at this. I mean, Magis Boy up close with the Tech 9, 2 frags, and it's the third. Magis Boy cleaning house there up on the Heaven area. And what do you say to this? I mean, they force bought, and okay, we've got some frags coming back here on the retake. This is really nice work here. tabseN is just putting in the damage. 3 kills from him. Now Cillian dropping like a ninja from the roof. But can he find the kills in time? The defuse attempt is coming in from NRG, and great cover. tabseN with 4, and he's going to save the round. And what a ridiculous push into the upper side, James. That is just criminal that they can just get there.
Have a look at this. Have a look at the third kill. I think Peter's just facing the wall. I don't know if he's expecting a flashbang to come in or if there's a miscommunication. The guy's right in front of them, just blowing them all up with the Tech 9 there. So I don't know why he turned around, why he turned away. Maybe he was just carrying in the corner. Maybe he had enough of it all, Dan, for that round. Either way, he was taken out. That was a nice 3K. Big damage done by SK. Bomb plant as well, but no round.
Yeah, I mean, it's tabseN, man. I really didn't... I mean, NRG definitely, after those 3 kills, they shouldn't win the round, but they managed to do so. Great stuff from tabseN, and fast door play again to try to get something done. Maybe a quick bomb plant, but boom, there it is. Modi finding the fast headshot onto Legia. So some damage is going to be thrown into the mix there from SK onto NRG, but it does look like NRG are controlling the situation fairly well. We've got Fugly covering anyone going down through the vents, as they are aware that somebody is lurking here. Cillian spotted. And neutralized, as is Modi. So pretty clean round there from NRG, and that's exactly what they needed to recover from the damage in the previous round.
You saw the T's going for a fast plant towards B there, but again, the vents have been changed now, so it takes a bit longer. You have to walk to the CT side of the B vents to get in, and then you just saw crimson all over the wall there, Dan. Kind of reminded me of Half-Life 1, actually, with the new styling of Nuke. Either way, SK going to be on the buy round now. 5 AKs coming out for that side. They've got a bunch of smokes as well. If I remember correctly, they were putting out wall of smokes outside pretty much every round, kind of similar to how Astana Dragons used to do things back in the day on Nuke and CSGO. Legia choosing aggression. Trial by combat, and he will win the first test. Him's been heavily tagged as well, is carrying the bomb, will get taken down. One more player to find for Legia. Does enjoy playing around the smokes. He spots a Cillian there as well, and down goes a Cillian. So Legia shutting down this round on his lonesome, finally traded by SK, but they're running out of players. Only 2 left versus the 4 of NRG. Down goes Magic's Boy as well. So this round looking good for NRG here versus the first big test from SK.
Yeah, and they actually heard Modi going up the ladder, so they know that he's in this vicinity. So it's unlikely that Modi should pull anything off just because he doesn't have really, truly the element of surprise. You can see tabseN knows exactly where to look. There's the frag, and they close it down. NRG starting off strong here, James. And when we saw SK play this map just yesterday, they were looking really good on their T side. They were getting the money going, they were getting those fast pushes, getting the trades in there. But ELEAGUE just, that show, that display of disrespect, walking up and just crushing the team by himself, that is going to be a little bit frustrating for SK.
They did look good yesterday, Dan, but what did they look good against? That is a problem. An unprepared team, so we can only... Well, we can't really take too much away from it, but maybe it was a nice warm-up going into this again. They'll be on the eco for this round, will SK, but there'll be many more buys to come. So let's see how NRG handle anti-eco rounds. ELEAGUE is well out of position with an SMG like that. He does not want to be taking duels with those players up towards Silo.
Yeah, MP9 at that range, do not try that at home. ELEAGUE will be able to play the close ranges finally, but he will get taken down with MagicBoy. But there's Peter and Fugly to clean up the damage. Another round going to NRG, a lot of support there for them in the crowd. And they are definitely starting things off well. And it's good to see Peter on that AWP because we have a lot of questions about how you play the AWP on this map towards the outside area. Surely Peter is going to be looking to answer some of those questions that we are all aching to find the answers for. And he might be up against Freeze as well. That could be an interesting 1 versus 1 for us to check out.
I'm interested into how the AWP will be utilized on the T side here. You can go for a fast engagement into Hut, looking through the window into main, but you're also susceptible to nades in that position. It's going to be going outside with Vasilian moving fast towards main. MagicBoy is being taken down elsewhere, though. So early advantages here for the CTs. Peter starting to move back, legging main Pimp as well, who moves into main. And Peter will get traded. Fugly going down as well. So problems here for the CT side.
He did do a lot of damage, though, did Peter, despite not getting a frag. So we'll have to see if his teammates can finish off the job. Now, SK, despite getting a couple kills hit, the bomb is still stationary in a very defensive position, and they've not yet decided where they're going to go, and tabseN is going to take down Modi. So SK, despite everything that they've both accomplished, they don't really have significant map control apart from outside. And you can play the CT side just holding the inner areas, because you can rotate down the vents, down ramp, so you can just give it up at not much of a cost. The only real problem is if Vasilian does try to go and attack Heaven, but he's going to drop down here because he needs to support his teammates. But how do they get into a bomb site, James? That's what they're trying to figure out right now. What's the call for this situation? Yeah,
B is probably the place to go, as NRG seem to be holding main very aggressively at the moment. That's going to cut off a lot of the map. And it's going to be risky for the T's to try and flank. You see Zillion's in position to do so. Gobby... Was he looking at the radar there?
I'm not sure exactly what happened there.
No, he's putting his hands up, so I think he's perhaps had a technical issue there, because obviously that seems very bizarre indeed. So we'll have to get some information on that a bit later on. But it's tabseN left in the round now versus 3. All these players are heavily tagged for SK as well, so he could still entirely win the round if he can get himself some 1 versus 1s. If SK tries to exit the site here, he has a chance. Down goes Pimp. He was the player with the most health, but there's a crossfire situation now for SK. That said, there's no smoke for tabseN, so he can't try to cut off the vision of these Ts. Gambling at somebody is perhaps in the room on the side there, but there's nobody there. So taken down from behind. Pimp will take the round for his team. SK make their way onto the scoreboard.
All right, yeah, I mean, that's a very doable situation there for tabseN, and what a crazy round because he got there with the theory is that perhaps he hit, okay, the theory is that he hit the Windows key. Happens to the best of us, James.
Well, you can disable the Windows key then. Or you can physically remove the key.
I've done both, actually, at home. I'm paranoid about that thing. So
we have a timeout coming in from NRG, which one would expect is technical. You see the admin supporting the leader, Gobby, over there. So we'll find out what issues are being had for the time being. But, I mean, it's a great start by NRG so far. Yeah,
no, absolutely. I mean, they're really showing that they have a great understanding of how to play the map. And the interesting thing for SK, of course, you know, what they showed there is that, okay, we can take out side control and maybe get like a couple frags in the process. But NRG showed that kind of classic play on Nuke whereby you can just give up outside. You can just play the super fast rotation with the vents and the ramp to try to guard the lower and the upper areas and not really extend yourself too much. And in that vein of thoughts, this means that this is one of the maps, because the rotations between the sites so fast, that you don't have such a disadvantage as you normally would on a map with bigger rotations, let's say Dust 2, where if you go, 1-for-1 kills, if you're left in the 4 versus 4 as the CTs, on most maps, that's really disadvantageous. But on a map like this, you can make more risks like that because you can play tight setups in the upper and lower bomb side with the fast rotations. So there's lots of cool stuff to play around with in a map like Nuke. And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens when SK start to go for more of these upper set pieces and pushes that they have. Because NRG, as you mentioned, look very capable with dealing with pretty much everything so far.
So you can see some frustrations in the NRG camp there. But they have to keep their heads in the game. They need to stay focused.
Yeah.
Put the previous rounds behind them. They still have lots of money in the bank. Tabson's got a clean $10,000 in the hole here, so they'll have no issue buying up for the next round. AWP coming back up for Peter. In fact, everyone's bought except for Tabson, but of course he's going to go for the full buy with 10K in the bank. So got B barking commands to his loyal followers here. We'll see if NRG can reset SK in round 7.
Yeah, it could end up working out very well for them if indeed they do just crush SK in this round, because SK, they did go down to only 2 players, I think, in the previous round, and their money reflects that. They're between 1 and 2K, really. That's kind of the situation they're left in. So if they lose a round, they can't really afford to buy. It's going to be a bit of a half buy with some pistols, so they want to avoid that. SK need to take this round. And ELEAGUE already taking some damage very quickly there, as there's a bit of pressure from onto the door position. He's going to get the hell out of there, just jumping down at the vents, and perhaps he can guard the secret area and keep tabs on whether or not SK go outside. And in fact, here he goes, and this is a very cool position. If there's a distraction from a teammate, ELEAGUE can pop out at the right timing, and he can get a quick frag. But he's going to peek up, and you can see how exposed that position is to the silo area, almost getting taken down. He's very lucky to be alive.
Yeah, I guess he would. I mean, if that flash went the way it was supposed to, then I guess it's in case somebody's over towards red, which is to the right of Freeze here. But he got tagged from Silo, and he's left on 3 HP. So we have some counter nades coming in from the CT side. But again, Peter's left in a very passive position indeed, where he has to be careful of higher and lower, and indeed he will move to yet more a passive position. Nobody lost for either side just yet, and we see that SK have taken control of the ramp area, and they've got 50 seconds left on the clock here, so it seems they'll bide their time for now and wait for NRG to try and peek, try and get some information, punish them for doing so, and maybe capitalize on that opening depending on where it comes in from.
And this is where you can kind of see how NRG are routined, or they feel confident in making calls on how to play this map as the CT side, because it's all about just keeping that communication open, making sure that everyone knows what the potential kind of attack points of the Ts are. And now they should realize where the movement is. Problem is, can they stop the bomb from going down? Because that is a real way to win this round right now, because there is a real issue on the time for SK. There's less than 20 seconds to get the bomb planted, so they can't afford anything to go wrong as they go for the plant attempt. And Peter's going to take down Magic Boy. Cillian going for the dirty plant there on top of the warhead, whatever that is, James. I don't even know that little structure. We have a bit of a back and forth here, but it's Modi and Cillian in a 2 versus 4. That bomb ticking away. Modi guarding that vent, but he's stuck in that door position. They know exactly where he is. He's pinned down. There's no way for him to escape here. Surely he just goes down immediately. He will. ELEAGUE gets the peek on him, and that's going to be the round for NRG. They will crush the economy of SK, but SK did get the bomb down, which I believe allows them to buy in this round. Next round.
That is a great round for NRG to win. That's going to be them back in focus. They will quickly forget about the previous round. Nice shots there by Peter on the ramp position as well. I like the angle that Modi was holding there towards the vent room to allow his teammate to stand right next to the vent and hold angles towards the ramp itself. However, it didn't pay off for SK on this occasion. So 6-1 it will be for NRG. The buy coming back out for SK. Indeed, that bomb plant will help them get more AKs, more nades. Will we see another fast play into the A sides?
I think it's quite likely, actually, with a setup like this. They're not going to be as confident going outside with the lacking of grenades and also firepower, generally speaking, and no AWP as well. So probably going to see that fast upper play. It does seem quite consistent because you can get that really nice timing onto the door. But so far, it looks like they're going to be holding a little bit more passively at the moment, biding their time. And the thing is, for the CTs, you can't really easily get aggressive on this map, and you don't really need to do so. It's more about when the Ts start to try to take position outside and maybe in towards ramp, that's when maybe you can get a bit creative as a CT side and how you decide to defend, as opposed to how you decide to attack them, which you have more options for on other maps.
Pimp, I've seen him before lining up that smoke for the wall of smokes into the garage area, and we have a bit of an advancing from Peter, and he'll get punished for doing so. His legs will be shown far before he sees somebody on the high ground. Again, ELEAGUE throwing some counter nades in. But well, let's see, the Ts continue to push. The Molotov comes down to try to slow the approach here, and that is a painful Molotov to try and push through to get that frag. So he's done a good job for the time being, but that Molotov will soon disappear. That said, SK have no map control, almost. They have Modi in the main area, but he's only got Effect 9.
And this is the thing, right? This is what they need to, NRG need to do. They just contain the Ts. you can give up parts of the map control. You just have to be ahead of the push, basically. It's hard for the teams to move around, and Modi's messing around here in the lobby area. He's only got 10 HP and a Tech 9. Tabson will do well to sort of ignore him now, because the main push is coming into the lower side. Isilian's already down there, calling that it's okay to plant, but there are lots of avenues of attack on this bomb side. It's very hard to actually attack once it's been held by the T's, but also it's hard for the T's to initially gain it. But it does look like it's a 3 versus 3 situation here, and it's pretty up for grabs for both sides as NRG go in for this retake. And Isilian with a very, very nice angle here. If a player's to come out of those vents, he's likely going to fall to Isilian, and he has a crossfire of Magic Boy as well. Very hard times here for NRG on the retake. Freeze able to take down Fugly as he jumps into the control room, and Magic Boy gets a kill as well. Just down to Gobby, the fearless leader, picking up the AK. He realizes that this is not happening. He's going to just salvage what he can, turn tail and run with the AK-47, and SK pick up another round, but their economy is definitely not in the best shape in the world.
All right, so Gobby surviving. The lone survivor, the buy will come back out for the CT side, and indeed they, well, let's see how many people survive for SKK. They're going to be fine as well. So both teams still in a precarious monetary situation, so there are advantages to be had in the coming rounds. We'll see who gets them first. 4-round lead for NRG. And again, we've seen, yes, it is hard for the CTs to be aggressive on this map at the moment. But we've seen some nasty aggression from Legia. He likes to play around the smokes. It paid off earlier. Obviously, he can't do that every round. As long as it's not telegraphed, though, he could win his team more rounds if he chooses his timing wisely. And again, SK all over the outside position, and that leaves Diorpa Peter in a very vulnerable state.
But again, you know, Peter understands how his team is supposed to play this. You can, again, you can give up space, and that's what they're doing. They're giving up space, they're keeping track of the T's, and Peter's there. I mean, he's in a spot where he could actually get a sneaky frag if the T's kind of hang around too long and the smokes go away. But right now, NRG know that Secret has been essentially taken over by the terrorist side. SK Gaming have made their way down there, and normally you would expect to see more of a presence here from NRG to actually deny them entry into the bomb site, but they don't have anybody stopping these players going into this control room where Freeze is throwing this smoke from. Legia's in the open. He's going to hit some crazy shots. He's going to do just that, though. So, hey, it doesn't matter if you've got bad positioning. Just hit the heads, and that's how you win in Counter-Strike. And more frags going the way of NRG. Looking like they're shutting down SK. All on Pimp in a 1 versus 4. Not a good situation to be found in, with the bomb in the middle of nowhere as well.
You have to wonder if that real estate gave them a false sense of security, although Legia's not going to get a 2K like that on every occasion, so I don't think they'll be too disturbed. Pimp takes the wrong pick, but he will get the frag regardless, and now he has an opportunity to get another 1 versus 1 on the left. Indeed he does, but he can't move fast enough to stop Fugly from trading him. 7-2 in favour of NRG. Very nice 2K here by Legia. The bomb as well allows rotation for his team. But again, it's very dangerous how quickly SK gets so close to the B bomb site.
Absolutely, and I almost wonder if there was a bit of a miscommunication on the progress of SK's push on that lower side, because Legia is in a really open position, and normally I don't think you would see him in that kind of spot if he predicts that the players can attack him from where he got those frags, because that is it's pretty sick that he actually pulled off both of those kills. So really nicely done by Legia. And again, you know, NRG, they lose a round, but boom, they just win a round straight back. We get that fast play in from this T side as SK Gaming as they just completely storm this upper bomb site. Legia now coming in to do more damage with the M4. Oh, he stops the bomb from going down. That's a big play. Has he done enough for Fugly though? Fugly will make his way in from HUD. There's the first player spotted, and he'll get the bomb down as well, delaying even more, but he's the only player here. So Fugly now has given himself a chance, and he's going to be sneaking around. Where will he attack from? SK Gaming don't know where he is just yet. Crouching so he avoids the window there, and here is the first base. Finds Magic Boy, and above is going to be Freeze. Very key position from Freeze there. He's going to save the day, but James, they lost again. 4 players. The damage is big, and their buy is going to be down to the last reserves.
Yeah, but the buy on NRG is not going to be ideal either. But they know how precarious the monetary situation is. NRG going to go for the force, in fact. Fugly picking up the M4, and you definitely want him on the M4 the way he's been playing so far. So many clutches, 3-man kills, etc. for Fugly this week, and we'll see if it will continue. 8 frags for him so far in 11 rounds. Definitely showing up for his team. So SK, will they go for the fast play again? Indeed. The plays into A look almost unstoppable at the very beginning. They see a second player in main, but the flashes are coming in for the CTs, and mayhem will begin. Gobby first to go down, Nade's flying in there. Isilian, getting a nade out, but he spots Legia. Legia gets no frags though, and the bomb will be planted on this occasion. 3 players left. And now NRG have questions to ask themselves. They've got no frags so far. They've got a lot of money on these players, $8,500. They could save this armor. Another gun picked up as well. But hey, they're getting the frags here. They're flying in now. Fugly putting in work as well, down to 2 versus 2. Hoddy spotted on his own, no answer from the T's. Magic's Boy now the last man standing for his team. He has a very nice angle though. There goes Fugly. Peter soon to follow. SK survive. And the crowd almost cried.
Yeah, that's, I mean, that position is really, really nice there. And SK getting 4 rounds on the board, but I mean, we've seen some great work here from NRG. They look really, really energetic right now, and it's going to be quite cool to see how this actually goes in the second half too, because SK previously, they sort of won it on their last nuke game on their T side. So we really didn't get to see them too much on their CT side, so it's hard to know what to expect from them, and you know, whether this is enough so far in the damage that they have done to NRG. And it could really compound into more right now, because NRG have nothing to offer in this round. Their money's really badly broken at this point. So SK could have a very big result from this point forwards. And we can see a really nice sort of anti-eco strategy here from SK Gaming, where they just stick together as a unit. They move together really quickly onto a bomb site, and this is the perfect way to do it. And how on earth do you do anything with pistols once SK Gaming have taken this bomb site? I don't think there's anything that can be done.
I really hope this type of plant is removed in the future from Valve, because it's wholly unnecessary, in my opinion, especially on the B bomb site. If you kill everyone, we've seen it already on the few maps of Nuke that have been in a professional play, where you clear out all the opponents, then you notice that the bomb is on the top of that structure. You have to run all the way around the rail to get there. It wastes so much time, and it makes no sense, because you have fast plays onto the top of A, for example. There are multiple ladders and boxes to jump up, but B, you have that long rotation.
Oh, what is this? All right. All right. Muddy was getting the ace with the Mag 10. He made some money, though. He made some bank.
He made a bunch of cash, yeah. Leggy should have gone for the left, left, right.
Oh,
Since he didn't have to back. Got to go for the left, left, right with the knife. Faster than the two
stab.
right swipes, indeed. The slash stab.
That is the way.
He clearly is not from the street stand.
No, absolutely not.
He's not from the hood. Whatever hood that is, where you do that. AWP's onto both sides. 2-round lead now for NRG. SK starting to catch up. God B reduced to a Mag 7. And not many nades for the CT side. Does this mean aggression? Does this mean Leggy's going to start playing around those smokes again?
That would be quite cool to see. I mean, it's looking like that's a possibility. He was...
I think he is.
Yeah, he's around that silo. Let's see if there's any sneaky business to be had, or if he's just going to try to wait. Looks like he's just waiting at this point. This is a very, very, very sharp angle. Very acute angle for him to hold, and that's going to be very tough for those Ts who are going to be looking at a lot of spots before they would consider that spot. And so far, it's a very slow approach from SK as they try to find their bearings early on as to what NRG are doing. And Liquipedia very much is the surprise. And Pippi is slowly making his way across. And oh my God, it's just too easy, James. Yes. Oh, I thought the knife was going to be unsheathed there, but unfortunately for us, it would just be a regular kill, but Leggy is happy either way, and Peter will spot the players moving down into Fugly's position. They're taking over round, trying to get lower, and wow, the peek into freeze. Peter pulls out the shot. It is good. 4 versus 3 now in favor of NRG. They might just stop this bomb from even going down. Maybe not, James.
Godby got a second shotgun shot off there, but he just could not connect with Modi, who's left on 8 HP and putting in more work. Leggy goes down as well. Strong advantages here for the T side. Tabson finds himself alone now, so NRG's success has perhaps come to a halt. Another round going the way of SK, presumably another bad plant on top of that nuclear thing, which I think can be the official name of it, nuclear thing.
Nuclear thing. Is it a warhead of some description?
It's a nuclear thing, Dan.
Or is it a nuclear thing?
A reactor, perhaps? A reactor that reacts to nuclear things?
That is possible. Let's go with that. For the time being, well, I suppose the internet will correct us promptly.
So, NRG having difficulties now, closing out more rounds, having difficulties even buying weapons in this round. Around 3,000 per side. Tabson saves an AK, but I don't think much is to be had from NRG, which means aggression, Dan. Which means aggression. I wonder if we will see the days again where you used to see like loads of nades on an eco flying towards the outside where their T's loiter on a throw. Wall of smokes. We see actually 4 HEs, but where will they be going? Not many people headed outside. Only Legia, in fact.
Yeah, I guess the ability to go up high on the outside probably makes it much less likely these days that that's going to hit a lot of players. But they're actually going to creep outside Oh, they might just boost onto the silo as well. This, oh yes, do it. Here it goes. Celine's up there though. Ooh, Taz to get the drop in. Ooh, that's unfortunate. He needs to really get the kill there. Now he's going to drop down and he's going to get sprays. Oh my goodness. 2 frags finding its way into the hands of NRG. That is a nice way to start this off. And now SK they have to scramble a little bit. They have to try to decide, okay guys, we've lost 2 players. We need to make a decision to try to salvage this situation.
And now the CTs have picked up an AWP onto Legia, and Tabson has the AK he had earlier on, which means that there should be another rifle to be collected outside by one of these players. Meanwhile, SK scrambling into the B bomb site. They try to choke off the choke points once again. Legia standing in the flames, and he's almost going down. In fact, he'll be finished off by Modi. I think he was holding an angle, trying to stop a peek. The bad plant comes in once again. So many bad plants, but there's a man advantage for the CTs. Make that 2. Magic's Boy alone now, and there's time for NRG to find him.
Yeah, Magic's Boy, he's been absolutely enormous in his results so far. Let's see if he can go big again in this one. It is just 2 men left now as that bomb ticks away. Magic's Boy with that AK-47 is very powerful. We've got the first attack, and easily dealt with by Magic's Boy. And this plant is so hard to deal with. What on earth? Is he just going to go for the hero hold? Looks like he is. I mean, what else does he do? Magic's Boy will secure the round. And you can't help but wonder if Legia had survived there, James, instead of going absolutely nuts through the flames. What would have happened for his team?
7-7 now. Everything has been tied up as we move into the last round of the first half. What will NRG have to muster here? A reasonable buy. AWP, 4 rifles. But it feels like a long time since they experienced success. 5 rounds in a row for SK. They appear to have figured out the defenses of NRG. Can they breach once more, Dan?
Well, we're going to find out. It is that fast play. It's been good in the past. They've often got their bomb down from this kind of an effect. And it's going to be Modi and Magic's Boy getting the 2 entries they need to secure that bomb down. And it's going to be tough here for Peter to get in, get a look in with that AWP. This is such a strong round to play. And it's not easy to know how to deal with this. And this is, I think, why you don't play so many people outside, because this is so scary to deal with. So here we go. We've got the attempt from NRG to get back in there to see if they can claim that 8th round. Incendiary's been tossed as well, but this is so annoying. Those smokes cutting off so much time here for NRG and their retake effort. Magic's Boy and Asilian deflecting the first assailants there. Just Fugly left against 4, and he gets wrecked as well. And that's going to be 8-7. SK, after a very tumultuous start, find themselves winning the half.
Yeah, I mean, at one point, NRG were up 7-2. Then they got figured out by SK, and SK won round after round after round. And again, those fast plays into A don't really have an answer. There was lots of variance, but there we go. SK taking the lead now into the second half. Can NRG take it in the second half? We will find out after the break.
And here we are, welcome back. It is time to kick off the second half between SK Gaming and NRG at the beginning of their best of 2 series, and it is very, very unknown. Who is going to be able to take this? And we've seen some great performances from both teams, but it is these two players that have stood out so far. Magicboy, as per usual, James, is putting in the numbers.
He is indeed, and that's going to help SK take a thin lead into the second half here. It's hard to know who to favour. SK have had good fortune towards the end on their first half, on their T half, but now they will be on the defense. We'll see if they have a way to get aggressive on the CT side and try and take control of certain areas. Maybe if they can, I don't know, control ramp or something and put extra players outside, or even in A to stop the success that they had on the T side pushing A happening to NRG. But first comes the pistol, and indeed it will be a charge straight into the A site here. Magicboy gets taken down straight away. Peter gets traded though. We've got plays in main, no nades here being used just yet for NRG. Gobby's got a smoke and a flash, and he's deploying them, but meanwhile his team are falling apart. There's a man advantage for SK at the moment. Pimp firing loads of bullets while Freeze takes advantage and gets the frags coming in. Two players in main, and Leg is trying to do what he can, but he can't do much. Fugly versus 4. Not looking likely for him. The smoke is up in heaven, but he's going to get 2 frags straight away. Almost takes down Modi, but the defuse will come in through the smoke.
Yeah, that's a great start for SK, and that jerk to get that last frag was kind of crazy by Fugly. He does like his multi-kills, and we'll have to see whether or not NRG can do anything interesting with this this round, because they might decide to go for the force, but if they've got some cool strats, we might see that instead of waiting 1 round and then going for that that AK buy. And interestingly, because Fugly got himself 3 kills, he's deciding to actually purchase Kevlar and a UMP, and his rest of his mates are actually not getting anything really. So they're just going to try to invest in doing some damage this round before the AKs come in the following round. This is interesting here from NRG. So really the focus is on how NRG use Fugly and how they try to facilitate. Well, he's dead, James.
Well done. He appears to be dead then. There was a push from Magicboy in through the hut, and almost everyone's dead at this point. Tabby, but he's got no health. Pimp's going to get dinked by Gobby, but he's still alive. So there we go. Tabson, he has opportunity to at least do damage. Pimp, Magicboy, quite tagged. Asilian tagged to a lesser extent. There are chances. The recoil on the UMP is pretty good, but Tabson will need to be quick on the trigger finger. No armor means that he will be subjected to aim punch should he get tagged. So that will make it a lot harder for him to kill anything. He seems to be admiring the paintwork for the time being. But
don't worry, because he has to go and die eventually, because that gun is only worth $200, and if he dies, he's going to get $1,900. So unless his mathematics is very, very poor, he should at some point go and die, because as a T, you don't get any money if you survive after time, unlike the CTs. So here he goes. Let's see what he can accomplish. He's got the P250 out, actually, for that close-range engagement, and he might just find it onto Pimp, but the aim punch does come into effect, but he controls his shots, James. He gets a kill, and I think that's pretty much the best result that he could have gotten.
Yep, I'll take that. Why not? Makes the P250 pay for itself. $300 for $300. 7 to 10 now. So can't expect much to be coming from the UMPs perhaps in this round, as we have 5 AKs coming out for NRG, but it all depends on the play. NRG limited on the grenades here. Does it mean a fast play? Are they going to charge into the A site? Do they have similar straps to what we see from SK Gaming? Time will tell. Seems moving towards upper will be the first order of the day. And again, they may have a read that SK will be having SMGs coming into this round. That's not one of them, though, onto Modi, who gets taken down first.
Yeah, and it looks like so far, Asilian's push is actually working out. He's got a quick kill there, maybe a second one. There it is with the UMP. And that is not a good look here for NRG. They've been rocking the AKs. They had the superiority in weaponry. But it will go back to a 3 versus 3, thanks to a Gobby. But the bomb still needs to be picked up, and a decision still needs to be made. And Lake's got a forward position here, able to take down Asilian. Now, that's going to be very nice here. But there's still quite a lot of opportunities here for SK to equalize and maybe even win the round. Because, again, that bomb needs to make its way to a site. And SK are still waiting for that info. Lots of time to play with as well. And Magicboy will get himself back into upper, looking to see if he can find anything. And there's Freeze in the lower. He gets ELEAGUE. Big frag there from Pimp.
Bomb not spotted, however. Got B with 12 HP, carrying the bomb. Lots of crouching going on. People trying to avoid getting headshot by players holding angles here. Trying to give themselves what advantage they can. Got B again. Last man standing down, 12 HP. And the UMP will come into play there. Magicboy started with a UMP and wasn't able to upgrade his gun throughout the entire round. And it'll pay off with money, at least.
Yeah.
Cillian got some nice frags as well.
Yeah, exactly. 4 kills made with the UMPs in that round against AKs. So that's a really sick round, actually, that SK just pulled out of the bag. And that's going to be a bit frustrating for NRG as well, because they're back to the eco before they can get the buy-in again, which, in theory, unless SK have a... Well, unless they have a bit of a snafu, they should be looking pretty good on the money. And they're going to be on 12 rounds. So they're starting to take control of this match, and that's really, really worrying if you're NRG.
Do we have a vent dive coming in? We have a smoke coming out, being deployed for main, so it seems the attempt is to try and plant the bomb into A, but there are no frags for the T side so far. Not amazing map control. They're pushing ramp, actually. Close quarters and headshot will come into Modi, and ELEAGUE will be finished off, so it's Peter alone. He still has the bomb, and he's got time to play with, so he will realize it's unlikely that he'll be able to plant now. Put a smoke into the site to try and suggest he'll plant in the smoke. That may draw more CTs to the smoke as he tries to go towards upper, it seems. Thinks he's far enough away now to try and run a little bit without being heard. And indeed, we've got Magic's Boy on top of Hut at present. Oh no, he's not. He's outside going towards the roof, so... it's the inside ladder, so he is there. Well, where will Peter play? He knows where one person is, but 4 CTs are alive. There's Pimp on the ramp. Peter has Kevlar. Just dancing between the 2 sites. Trying to do what he can with what little he has left. Trying to find the most awkward angles, but too many players for him to really do anything, and SK will creep towards that 16th round once again. Yeah,
it's tough times here now for NRG as SK start to take control, and we have the full buy coming in for NRG, but it won't feature an AWP. However, on the CT side of things, SK Gaming, they have Freeze, a dedicated AWPer. He will be on the sniper rifle right now, but again, as we saw previously, NRG handled their CT side very well with Peter on the AWP, where he's in garage, but they don't commit him too heavily. He lets the Ts go down behind the smokes, and they let them take control of outside. I wonder if SK will play it the same way, because it is very hard, as James mentioned previously, to hold outside with an AWPer.
We see ELEAGUE going for the smoke into into garage. Just a clean smoke, whereas SK opted for the wall of smokes outside. Freeze with a passive angle, lots of scoping, and all his scoping's going to make him miss the shots. I don't know why he's scoping so much. Is his mouse broken? If he wasn't doing that, he could have got a kill there, but alas, he won't. That said, Tabson will be the first to fall for the NRG side. So far, so good for SK. I think Freeze's position was spotted, and Gobby's trying to flank, and now Freeze may have problems unless he's spotted and switches, but he can't do it fast enough. Gobby takes him down, 4 versus 4.
Yeah, that's a pretty big problem there for SK, but again, as long as they play it calmly and intelligently, they can give this up, this positioning, and just allow NRG to work the outside. And you see Pimp's actually going to be using this hell area, as it's called, by the window, to try to get some information. So far, he's not spotted too much. And that's sort of worrying if you're SK, because they don't know where NRG are at the moment. Magic's Boy knows that main could be under attack, and there is a quick peek coming in from door. But will the player from main pop out to punish Magic's Boy? Looks like he won't. Oh no, he will. Peter gets the frag there onto Magic's Boy, creating an entry into this upper bomb site. But Pimp could ruin their day because the bomb needs to go down. Will he get the kill? No. There is the cover in place from ELEAGUE, and in goes Cillian now, and it's Modi as well to try to retake this situation for SK Gaming. Oh no, Cillian catches Peter completely off guard. The trade is in though, so perhaps NRG can still have a good grip of this round, as Modi is the only man standing, looking for the frag. He gets a free one, so maybe not. It's looking quite chaotic now as he goes in for this 1 versus 1. Seems like he might have a good idea as to where the player is. He's going to tap the bomb here to try to bait out Gob B. There's the flash, very nicely done by Gob. And he realizes he doesn't even have to show his face after that. There's too much paranoia from Modi, and just showing a pixel, and Modi cannot get it done. He gets the kill in the end, but Gob B has played it smart. He's done enough, and the bomb will go off, and the round will be won by NRG.
That was pretty lucky for Gob that Modi did not go for the hero defuse there, because Gob B actually flashed himself as well as Modi and couldn't peek. So in that time, the defuse could have come in. But there we go. NRG get another round on the board. SK will have no trouble buying for the time being. AWP coming back out to Freeze. Loads of grenades as well. So the defense will continue. 4-round gap now between the two teams. And indeed, despite winning the round, it's NRG with a worse buy. Tabson can't afford a rifle.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward, isn't it? But we'll see how that comes into play, because that could be beneficial, because a Tech 9 is actually very, very powerful as a running gun sort of weapon to get you into some position. But never mind, Gob B gets sent off the top of the silo.
Goodbye, my friend.
And that's not a nice way to go. But at least he experienced the beauty of flights, James, before. Well, I guess he was dead when he was flying, so never mind.
Well, at least Tabson can pick up the AK, so now he has a weapon.
There you go. It all works out in the end.
Indeed it does.
Perhaps.
The ecosystem there.
If you're looking, you've got to look on the bright side of life. So we have Mori going for the flash in. I'm curious whether he'll try to push Radio. Actually, Magic Boy takes down Legia. Legia is quite an aggressive player. You can see this round, it's not going to give him too much to work with. And this is a nice smoke here into the silo. And you can see that the attack into the upper area is what NRG are thinking about here, or posturing at the very least. And SK Gaming, will they rotate? They've got 5 players still. They don't need to rotate anybody. And that's kind of the joy of having 5 men still. You don't have to really guess as to what the CTs are doing. The Ts are doing. You can just hold your positions. And Modi's going to spot those nades. In go NRG, looking to break this position. What can Modi do? 1 frag and almost another one, taking Fugly down to 9 HP. Modi surely has done enough.
4 versus 2, and indeed he did ring Fugly's bar left with less than 10 HP here. 20 seconds, so NRG have nothing going for them. Not the personnel, not the time. They have to take risks, they have to gamble and try and get a bomb plant down. Crossing the site won't work. Cillian will steal the kill before a teammate can do so, and Fugly can't get any more damage in. SK getting the round and surviving with 4 players. They will continue to climb towards taking the first game. Oh, there we go. He is like a... Once, I've told a story before, Dan. Once I was fishing, and I cast my line out, and I caught a swan as it was flying past, and it crashed into the bank. And that's what it reminds me of, Dan. A swan crashing into the bank there. God be the beautiful swan, just falling off the silo on a nuclear facility.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, that was a pretty poor backflip as well.
2 out of 10.
Not even.
NRG on the force buy. All but Legia with Kevlar. Nades are in hand. Do they have an eco strat? That is the question. Well, a force buy strat even. Can you have that smoke coming in towards garage position? Very aggressive smoke from the CTs, actually. That is a problem smoke, because the CTs could play around behind that as well, which is going to have to... it's going to be expensive for the T resources holding down that area for the time being.
Although it's kind of weird as well, because against that smoke, you wouldn't expect the CTs to want to push against pistols as well, so it's kind of a weird one. But we are going to see this, I think we saw this smoke previously where it drops between the wall and the silo in the...
Last smoke that was thrown was through broken glass, whereas this one is through open glass. So I think the previous one was an accident because it ended up in a random place. This will allow NRG to burst onto the site with a flashbang.
That makes more sense, James.
It does indeed.
That is good. Let's see if they can connect these shots with these pistols. You never know, especially with Tabson. He's got a Tech 9 though. But in they go, NRG with those pistols. Magic's Boy to execute Fugly, and he's not finished there. Tabson to fall as well, as is the rest of NRG. All but Godby, the leader, is left with no minions to guide. He's guided them to the slaughter, James.
An easy round for the CTs. It was a force buy. It was a force buy, but they easily avoided the flashbangs coming into the site. You stand behind the silo. Superior weapons as well.
This is a nice stat, actually. SK winning 12 of the last 13 rounds. I think that's what we call momentum, James.
They've won a dozen rounds then. You could say they've won a dozen rounds.
Yeah. But if they had lost no rounds, it would be a baker's dozen, which I believe is 13.
I respect your knowledge, Dan. I can only admire it. We have a sawn-off on the map, Dan. A sawn-off. That is close quarters engagements right here. And it will be a fast play. That Molotov is far too late, but the frags are not. Cillian putting in work here. Peter, Legia go down. Got support from his teammates. The bomb has bounced all the way into the sites here. Godby on 10 HP, and Fugly, there's not much they can do here. The force is not going to work out for them. The sawn-off.
It was just a display of fear, James. I think that's that was the only thing that really happened there. They did not fear the sawn-off.
I think a sawn-off is a weird choice because it's the same price as the Mac 10.
It must have been a misbuy because you can't use a sawn-off in a push like that, really. I mean,
you can move with it, but the Mac 10 has more utility and better range. It doesn't have a good range. If there's somebody on a high ground, you're more likely to kill them with a Mac 10 than you are with a sawn-off. Yep. So I hope it was a misbuy. There we go, 8 to 15 here. Many game points for SK. I think the crowd is with NRG for this one, but it's not looking likely at the moment. They've got a scout, a UMP, and a few pistols here and there. There are nades, though. They can use them to try and close the distance. Shadow giving Legia's position away, and Cillian will punish accordingly. Ooh, getting a bit greedy with the nade, and he will have to move away. So, NRG looking for the pot shots, but no damage has been taken just yet by the CTs. Cillian and Pimp getting tagged now, but no frags for the T side. Tabson, the last man standing for his team with the Tech 9, has an opportunity to pick up a weapon, but that'll be that Magic's Boy will put him out of his misery. 16-8, a solid nuke from SK.
Absolutely. After the start, which looked like this map had NRG written all over it, SK Gaming were able to just battle back and show that the result that they had previously against CLG, I believe, on Nuke was no fluke. What a great map from them, and there is still more to come. We have Cobblestone coming your way next, but first, it is time for a quick break.